Okay, wow, this is crazy. I'm back, guys. I am back. So, this is going to be my life update. So, it could be a long one. So, grab a cuppa like I have and get cozy. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new here. My name is Aduke. I am a mum to my 19-month-old daughter. This video is a long time coming. It's going to be my life update for the last 19 months. Where have I been? Some of you may know I have been doing YouTube since lockdown around May 2020. I think I started and put out my first YouTube video. I was consistent up until just before I had my daughter. So around May, June 2021. I just fell off the face of the earth, clearly. It's a lot having a daughter, a very active, very mischievous little girl. I just couldn't find the time to do YouTube, but I have always said that I will come back. I'll get back into it and I will start producing content. And now I feel 2023 is my year. So here I am. I do content on all things motherhood, hauls, lifestyle. So those are the kind of videos you want to see. Please keep watching. Like and subscribe to my channel. Leave me any comments down below. Let's just get straight on into it. I've made some notes here just so I can remember what I've been doing for the last 19 months. So where have I been? I basically being a mother. I'm going to do a little update because I was watching back my last video and I realised I didn't even say what my daughter's name is. So, well, Zuri, that is her name. Zuri means beautiful in Swahili. I am not from Kenya. We have no connections to Kenya. I just love the name. And when I was trying to choose names for a girl, I found it so difficult. Oh my gosh, it's so difficult trying to choose names for a baby. Even names for a boy, because obviously for the first 16 weeks, I didn't know whether I was having a boy or a girl. I very strongly thought I was having a boy, but it turns out that was not the case. So I was obviously trying to find names for both girls and boys, and it was really difficult. And then one day I came across Zuri. So I'll tell you how I came across the name Zuri. On Baby Centre, if you are pregnant, head to Baby Centre because they have a section on the app with baby names. And I would always go through the baby names and I would start at A and work my way down and never ever made it more than halfway through. So one day I thought to myself, I'm going to start from Z and go up. I had some requirements when it came to a name. Sorry, I'm going on a complete tangent here, but there you are. I had some requirements when it came to a name for my child. I wanted a strong name, I wanted a short name, and I wanted a name that would be easy for her to say and for other people to say. And I also wanted it to be an African name. They were my requirements. What was that? 4 requirements? And it was very difficult. So anyway, when I came across Zuri, I loved the meaning. It was a name I'd never heard before. Oh, I also wanted it to be unique. It was a name I'd never heard before. Since naming her Zuri, I hear it all the time. But it was a name I'd never heard before. It was short. It was easy for me to say, easy for her to say when she starts being able to speak. That's my thought process at the time. And easy for other people to say as well, which shouldn't be a requirement, but it is. And that's how I came across the name Zuri. She is 19 months old right now. She was 19 months yesterday. So I'm going to give you a little update on Zuri and then we will move on to myself. Milestones. So she is a very strong little girl. And I think I very quickly realised that. If you've seen my previous video where I went into labour and I show her at the end of the video, literally seconds after she was born, you will see in that video that she actually lifts up her head to look at me. And I remember looking at that video thinking, wow, is this normal? Do babies do this? And when I sent the clip to other people and friends, that's one of the things that everyone commented on, is how she lifted up her head. Anyway, didn't think anything of it. It could have just been a fluke. But very quickly, it became apparent that she was very strong. She was wanting to do everything very early. She rolled at, how old was she? About 13 or 14 weeks, maybe even earlier actually. She was trying to sit up at 4 months old. Then consequently, she started crawling around 5.5 months old. And then she started walking. She took her first steps unaided, very wobbly, I will add, very wobbly steps at around 8.5 months. And she was probably properly walking at 9 months to 9.5 months, around that sort of time, which is crazy, right? That's absolutely crazy. Like, how is she walking? How can she hold herself up? This little tiny baby, how can she just go? But she did. So she hit those milestones very early, which is incredible, but also became much more of a challenge, but very fun. It's amazing when they start to move. You can actually do so much more with them rather than they just sit there and just do nothing. So it was great. It's been a journey, guys. It has actually been a real journey. So with weaning, I want to touch on weaning because I did do a post, or I documented the journey really of weaning on my Instagram, which is MissDukes_XO. Go and check it out. I started weaning Zuri when she was 5.5 months old. My perception or my thoughts on what would happen would be, I'd start weaning her at the beginning of December. We would start off and we would do a week of all like the sort of bland vegetables, cooked really softly. I did baby-led weaning. I would cook all the vegetables very softly, and then after the second week we'd start onto proper meals, and then the third week would be leading up to Christmas, which is when she would have been 6 months old. And she would have had a lovely Christmas dinner. No, that is not how this went at all. We started off great. The first week, she tried all the vegetables and all the foods that I would give her and put in front of her. She would try them. After that week, and she never wanted to touch anything for probably the next 2 months. It was very, very difficult. She didn't want to eat any of her Christmas dinner. She would constantly be gagging. If I gave her something, she would gag, and she would gag so much that she would throw up. It was very scary, but you read all the books, you see all the Instagram accounts and social media accounts that, you know, tells you about the safety aspect of baby-led weaning, which is basically if they are gagging, you let them carry on. And if they are very obviously choking, they cannot get air in, that is when you have to intervene. So I got to a stage where I could tell when she was gagging and when she was choking. So I very rarely had to intervene, and she managed to clear whatever was going down the wrong way all by herself. But it was still very scary because, you know, that the whole gagging, like the sound, the motion, everything, it's like us as adults, it's like we're choking, you know. But it's different for babies because they're just gagging, they're learning what to do, and it was just a real process and very difficult. And I had health visitors involved. I was like, something is wrong with my child, she won't eat anything, she keeps gagging so much. Whenever she did eat anything, no matter how small it was, it's when she was trying to swallow, she just could not do it. She could not grasp it. It's like she had all her other milestones covered, but eating was not one that she took to very easily at all. And it's crazy because everything you see makes it seem like, oh, this is what you do. You wean with vegetables, like single vegetables for 1 week, and then, oh, you can start making all these delicious meals that they're going to eat. That's just not the case. And it was not the case for me at all. I do actually want to do a separate video on the whole weaning journey. I did film bits and bobs here and there when I was going through that stage, but I would like to do a video because I think it's very important for people to know that that is not necessarily how your weaning journey is going to go. And I have actually since spoken to lots of mums who have struggled with weaning, and I'm just like, I've been there. It is not as simple as people make it look. So yeah, that was a real journey. So around February, March, it was when she actually started to actually eat food and eat solids. And I wasn't concerned that she wasn't eating solids and getting that nutrition in, because as they say, food is fun until they're won. So I just knew she wouldn't have been eating to get that nutrition anyway, as I was still breastfeeding her. I am still breastfeeding her. She is still a breastfed baby at 19 months. I'm very proud to say that as well. I know people have an issue with breastfeeding past a year, but here we are, and we're not going to be stopping anytime soon. I wasn't concerned because I was still breastfeeding, so she was getting all her nutrition that she needed from me anyway. But obviously it's something that babies should be able to do, right? It's really crazy to see something that we do so naturally and to see her struggle with, you know. But she finally, she mastered it. Even now, she's not the biggest eater, but I'm not worried about that fact. As long as she eats something, that's all I can ask for. And I do give her the choice of what she wants to eat. And yeah, my biggest problem at the moment with her is she does not sit in her high chair. Anyway, that's a different story. So that is one thing that we have been through in the last 19 months. Zuri's sleep. Oh boy. I have to laugh because this is part of the reason why I have not been able to film any videos, because I am sleep deprived, guys. I am so sleep deprived. But there we go. Zuri sleeps. So when she was first born, when she was a newborn, she probably would sleep, she'd probably fall asleep around 11. She'd have her last feed, and then she would wake up around 3, and then she would sleep until around 6, 7 in the morning. So I thought, oh, this is great. I've got a great sleeper on my hands. Oh boy, how wrong was I? So is there a 4-month sleep regression? Yes. Yes, there is. In fact, that 4-month sleep regression started at around 2 months, and didn't actually end until New Year's Day 2023. I was losing my mind. 4-month sleep regression for Zuri started around 2 months old, and they do say with these regressions they can start earlier, they can start later. Zuri started at 2 months and it just never seemed to stop. We've gone through so many different stages of her sleep, and it really hit a point of absolute horror around September. Now, up until September, she probably had a handful of times, so about 5 times that she slept through, and 3 of those times being 3 consecutive nights in September. And I thought, oh, are we turning a corner here? Then we went on holiday, and we went on holiday to Menorca, and we were only there for a week, and oh boy, her sleep never went back to how it was pre-September, and it's been absolute hell. A friend said to me, maybe she's outgrown her cot and she doesn't like to sleep in her cot. Because basically I would always let Zuri fall asleep on me. I would feed her to sleep, so she would be asleep on me. I'd be holding her like this, she'd be asleep on me. As soon as I would get up to lower her down into her cot, eyes go bing, wide awake and crying so much. And she just didn't want to go in her cot ever. And it was so frustrating for me, because I was always like, I have got stuff to do. I am not going to sleep. I cannot bring you into my bed. You need to sleep in your cot. So a friend said to me then, maybe she's outgrown her cot and she feels trapped and imprisoned. So she said, take the mattress out of the cot and put it on the floor and let her sleep on the floor. So I thought, okay, maybe that's a problem. Maybe that was the problem. So that's what I did. I took the mattress out and she slept on the floor in her room. That was awful. To put it bluntly, it was awful. I never had a stairgate on her door. I didn't close her door fully. I didn't want her to ever feel trapped. So I would never close her door fully. I had like one of those door stopper things on the top. It's like a foam U thing, and you put it on top of the door. So it just stops the door from closing fully. So I had one of those on her door. So it just meant that when she woke up in the night, she would make her way out of the door, come and find my room, make her way in. I'd wake up sometimes to her climbing onto my bed. And it just gradually from then got worse and worse and worse, to the point where she'd wake up between half an hour to an hour and a half after I had put her down. It would take me ages to get her to sleep as well. She would go through stages where once she woke up after that first wake up, she was not going back to sleep for 3, 4, sometimes 5 hours. It was hell. It would just take me ages to get her to sleep, and it would involve some soothing music, it would involve white noise, it would involve hugging, kisses, lots of kisses, me feeding her to sleep. Then she would switch between which boob she preferred, and it was constant. It could take me an hour and a half, 2 hours to get her to sleep, and I was going out of my mind, to the point where I called the health visitor and said, something is wrong with my child again. Something is wrong with her. I had nights where I was Googling ADHD in babies, because she, being on the mattress on the floor, she had so much freedom. So she would get up, I'd think she was falling asleep, and she would get up and she would start running around her room. I'm there falling asleep on her floor while she's off doing whatever. And I just thought, this is absolute madness. Something is wrong with my child. I'm Googling ADHD in babies. Like, what are the symptoms in babies? What are the symptoms of autism in babies? Like, I've been through it all. So I even got I think I mentioned the health visitor was involved. We were having weekly calls. She was giving me different tips to try. She gave me a list of foods to give her before she went to bed. I had a schedule that I had to follow of when I gave her food and what time she would go to bed, and all sorts of stuff. Nothing worked. Absolutely nothing worked until the night of New Year's Day. I'd had enough. And this is probably an unpopular opinion, but I had to just let her cry. I had to let her cry for about half an hour. She cried. Don't come at me, guys, but when you're sleep deprived, you'll do anything. So she cried for about half an hour in her cot. Oh, by this point, I'd had enough. Forgot to mention, I'd had enough. I put her mattress back in the cot. Put the mattress back in the cot. I put her in the cot and I walked out of her room and let her cry. She cried for about half an hour and then she put herself to sleep. She put herself to sleep. Ever since then, touch wood, her sleep has been much better. Since the 1st of January to now, the 24th of January, we've had a few sleep throughs, but she now does not feed to sleep. She asks to go to bed. I will put her down awake and she will roll over and put herself to sleep. When I do have to get up in the night with her, her wake ups are generally 1 or 2 times in the night. I do feed her. I don't feed her to sleep. And I then put her back down awake, which, guys, can I just mention, I absolutely never thought she would ever be able to do. So the fact that I can put her down awake and she puts herself to sleep is, honestly, it's incredible. I no longer dread the fact that she may wake up, because her first wake up now will be 5 or 6 hours after I've put her down, rather than half an hour or an hour. Now we're getting to 5 or 6 hours before she has her first wake up. I will go in, feed her, and then put her back down awake, and she goes off to sleep again until the morning. Sometimes she may wake up again, but it's not a fear. I used to dread bedtime, absolutely dread bedtime, but that dread has gone. It's been lifted, and it's a huge weight off my shoulders. So that's her sleep. We are in a good place. So fingers crossed, long may that continue. We've had a few sleep throughs as well, which, so I feel like a new woman. Hence why YouTube is making a comeback, because I actually have time now in the evenings. Her personality, what is she like? Well, she is very vivacious. She is cheeky. She's mischievous. She is defiant. But she is the most loving, lovable, full of life. She's got so much character. Her energy is unmatched. She is just a bundle of joy to be around. I absolutely love being with her. I feel like one of those soppy mums that's just like, I never want my child to leave me. But it's true. I never want her to leave me. I just love being with her. Even when she's at her whingiest. Oh, that's another update. She's got all of her teeth now, apart from those back molars, which should come through around when she's 2. So Lord help me, but she's got all of her teeth, thank God. But even when she's at her whingiest times, like, she's just still, I just love being with her. I just love her so much. Oh my God, I just love her. I would love to show her in this video, but she's at nursery, and there is just no way in hell I'm going to be able to film a sit down video with my child around. It's just not going to happen. She'll be creating chaos over in the corner somewhere whilst I'm trying to film this video. So at some point I will introduce Miss Zuri. She's always doing something that she shouldn't be doing, but that's just babies, right? It's just toddlers. That's what they do. They're testing the boundaries. They're testing what they can and can't get away with. She knows when she's doing something that she shouldn't. She will go to touch something, and then she'll look at me first as if to say, are you going to say anything to me? It's very funny to watch, but also very annoying. It's just real life, guys, real life. So I think that's about it for Zuri. One last update. She is starting to say some words now. She's been trying to attempt to say words for probably about a month or so, or maybe 2. But it's only really now that she's actually echoing what I say. And even if I haven't said something, she'll remember something that I've said from days before, and then she will just say it, and she will point at things and look at me as if to say, what's that? What's that called? So she's very much learning, she's engaging, she still babbles a lot, which I absolutely love, and I feel like I need to get her babbling on camera more, because before I know it, she's just going to be talking right back at me. And I'm going to be like, where's my babbling baby gone? So yeah, she is saying a lot more words. Obviously there's loads more to her, but that will do for now. So moving on quickly before my battery dies, what has been going on with me? So in June I went on holiday to Dubai, and then the following week when I came back from Dubai, I went back to work. I really didn't want to go back, guys. I was that parent that just wanted to be with my child. If I could have not gone back, I really wouldn't have. But I wasn't there for very long. in August, I handed in my notice. I left my job that I'd been at for 7 years. I just couldn't do it. Her nursery fees were more than my salary working part-time. It just didn't seem worth it to me. So another opportunity came my way. I have bought a business. Those that know me and that worked with me are going to be like, what? Yes, I bought a business. You are looking at the new Baby Sensory Stamford franchisee. If you follow me on Instagram, you'd have seen that Zuri and I did Baby Sensory every single week for months and months and months, and I absolutely loved it, and the opportunity came up for me to buy that franchise, so I did. So I now run Baby Sensory classes and the business in the Stamford area, that territory. I run classes in Bourne, Stamford and Greetham, which is very, very excited, and it's probably the best move I have made in my working life. I never actually thought that I would do something like this. Now I stand in front of a class of up to 20 adults and babies and deliver activities, a learning and development program for babies, so from birth to 13 months. So we do lots of different sensory activities with lights, chiffons and shakers and bells, and we make music, and we're going to be doing messy play next week. So it's just been so exciting, and it's such a varied role, and it's such a rewarding job as well. It's hard work, don't let me fool you, but it's so rewarding. So I do it 3 times a week. It allows me to have that time with Zuri, so it allows me to be able to work part-time and still send her to nursery, because let me tell you guys, nursery fees are expensive. They're the most expensive thing that you could pay for. It's more than a mortgage, it really is. And it also gives me the time to have the extra days off with her and to do fun things with her. The opportunity came up and I went with it, I rolled with it. I was very, very scared to do it, but it's very rewarding, and it's the best job that I've ever had. Literally, it's the best job I've ever had. Also, on that note, can I just say I have been nominated for Best Activity Class Leader Franchise Business Owner in the East of England area. I have been nominated for an award for the What's On for Kids Awards. So very soon I'm going to be putting the details out for you to vote. But I have been nominated, which is amazing. I've been doing the job for 6 months and I've already been nominated. Like, how amazing is that? And at the end of all the voting and everything, there's an award ceremony, and it's like the Oscars of the children's entertainment world. And I'm so excited. I just hope I can become a finalist so I can go to these amazing awards, which I've been seeing videos and pictures and everything on social media. So that would just be absolutely epic. That is what I'm doing now. So that basically, guys, is a huge rundown for the last 19 months of life of a baby. So moving forward on my channel, I'm going to be doing a lot more vlogs, motherhood vlogs. It's going to be real motherhood vlogs on, you know, what real life is like with a baby. So moving forward, that's what is going to be coming on my channel. Maybe a few lifestyle things will be coming up as well. So that is going to be the end of this video. If you did enjoy this video, please give me a like, subscribe to my channel, hit that bell so you'll be notified whenever I upload a video. Leave me any comments down below. Let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see in the future. I do have some videos coming up, so I'm going to be doing a what's in my toddler's changing bag. what my toddler eats in a day, vlogs with my toddler, a nighttime routine, lots and lots of stuff coming up on my channel. I better go before my battery dies and I need to go and pick up the mini human from nursery. But I will speak to you again soon, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.